Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day, wonderful weekend, of course. I hope you had that as well. What we're going to do is look here at Bitcoin, just seeing what the $63,000 mark is looking like here. We have a nice positive descending trend breakout, and that's generally favorable. We do also got to recognize too that there's likely a CME gap, considering the fact that we gapped up here yesterday, which is a very common occurrence. So we're going to talk about that as well. So if you are new to the channel, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, comment below to get a chance and obviously help grow the channel. And if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site linked down below. We do offer a trading academy, community, and signals group. More slots are available here as of the first of the month. So taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, something to recognize here, we can see here that about low as 60,000 is that heavy concentration liquidation in the last 7 days. Now, those are some late longs jumping in when the price action jumped past that 62,000 mark, but we can see some late shorts here as well, but a majority of shorts got destroyed yesterday. And it's common occurrence, unfortunately, and what's uncommon is to see this much volume on the weekend, so that was very unique. So very curious to see what happens here today. If we take a look at the monthly, just to clarify, again, we have that, we're kind of smack dab in the middle. We got 56,000 for the low level liquidity, and 68,000 is the upper, right? So we're almost approximately halfway there. So it's a good sign overall in the sense of things. One last little congratulatory measure for our community members here, 45% profit from Bitcoin long, and a chain link, small profit, closer to 10%, only because we wanted to make sure to secure profit on that coin because the trade kind of got away from us, but we walked away in the green, folks. So again, congrats on that. So Bitcoin daily time frame, let's work our way down. No, actually, why don't we do this here? We want to go ahead and summarize with the monthly because the month just finished. It's important to kind of recognize that. We will look at first of all, the moving averages here on a separate chart. This is the Bitstamp chart, folks, by the way, in case you're curious. It does have the most amount of data all the way back to like 2011. So you can usually get the best amount of moving averages there. But having said all that, we can kind of see here, we're over all three moving averages. The 200 isn't present because we don't have 200 candles yet. However, we do take a look at the overall sentiment here. We can still see that stochastic swinging down, but it looks like it's trying to kind of bottom out here soon. Okay, again, now, generally speaking, when stochastic starts to swing up, that's generally a favorable sign. I think it's too premature to consider that, but generally speaking, that's good. Money flow index is still very high, and we can see also, of course, we're just under 70 in the RSI. That's quite okay. Honestly, over 50 is a positive sign. Okay, so if we do take a look here at the MACD, we are diverging, of course, just letting us know we're losing momentum. I think it's no big surprise to see that we've lost momentum and the price is tapering off. So monthly is, I would say, slightly bullish, but generally nothing super pressing there. When we do take a look here, of course, at the weekly, we can recognize we're still within this bull flag type of pattern. And the reason why these things work out is because you have a tremendous amount of buying pressure, and there's just a slow grind back down, and the bulls continue to gain strength as the bears start to lose strength, and then the price will continue further up. We do recognize we are under the 20-day SMA. It would be nice to be back up above that. If we break above that, that would give us confirmation that we're more likely to break through this ascending trend, or more so important, this descending type of resistance, mainly because it would put us at 66,000 or higher, and that's roughly where our resistance is right now, 66 to 67. So hypothetically, if you're going to short, that would be a logical place to consider shorting just because it's been a proven support and resistance range. Having said that, weekly time frame, not looking terrible, but we are under the 20, so we just got to be mindful that the price could continue to pull back. We zoom in to the last, just say, let's go ahead and look at our point of control here for the last, ever since February, last week of February. We can see we have the most amount of volume at, what do you know? Big surprise, 67,000, okay? So that is an area of concentration, just letting us know that's considered and construed as a strong resistance level because we're below it right now. We are over 50 in the RSI while money flow is pulling back, and stochastic RSI slightly swinging down, but it also looks like it wants to curve up. Those are generally favorable, but again, MACD is still diverging here. And in general, on the weekly time frame, we usually see somewhere in the range of about 2.5 weeks or 8 to 10 candles where the price action will inevitably reverse itself. We are now roughly at about 10 candles here. So basically just tells us for about 2.5 months we've been diverging, and it would make sense for the price to recover. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Let's quickly look at the daily time frame, work our way down. We can recognize we're below all moving averages. So again, this is not generally a favorable sign, and something we don't really love. However, we are testing the 200-day SMA. Sorry, that's the 20-day SMA here today, and that's an initial rejection spot there at about 63,800. So let's go ahead and zoom in here just a little bit to give us more perspective on what's going on. We got our support range at 60 to 61,000. That's a rough estimate. MACD is converging, and we can see stochastic RSI is still swinging upwards. RSI, traditional RSI is under 50 though. So that's not really a bullish sign to me. Breaking above that would be. So my speculation is if we continue to trend towards 66,000, we're going to see that pretty much be hit there, right? And hypothetically, you get initial rejection off of that. Again, this is all strictly hypothetical. We don't know if Bitcoin's going to continue higher. It shows a lot of strength. We got a decent amount of volume here so far today. A lot more volume than usual over the weekend. So that's extremely important. And Asia didn't dump the market last night either. So there's some positive stuff coming up here. We got to recognize that we got, some fundamental stuff on the horizon. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But for the most part right now, today, it would make sense for the price action to kind of stick around in the current range that it's in right now. Having said all that, we want to get over 50 on the RSI. That would be optimal, but we have broken this descending trend line, and we're now trending over 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour. This is extremely beneficial. This is a bullish type of sign here for us. Generally speaking, you want to wait for a bullish backtest of that level, and then you take entry. So wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a retest of 62,000, 61.5, and then the price action continues off from there. Okay, so that would be a very, very perfect situation for us. Okay, hypothetically take a long in the 61.5 range. Having said that though, we do take a look at the 4-hour. We can see we rejected off of 70 in the RSI, coming back up to reattempt that. Commonly, when you see that happen, the price action will break free. Okay, now this is very, very ugly, but we could even see the beginning of a cup and handle pattern forming right now. Okay, so again, truth is we have a lot of confirming factors here letting us know that shorting this coin isn't necessarily advantageous. Can the coin pull back? Can Bitcoin pull back to 62, 61.5? Excuse me. The answer is yes, of course it can. In fact, it should before it legs up again, so we can get a bullish backtest of that descending trend line, bounce off the 50 and the 20 SMA, and continue straight up here. Bob's your uncle, right? So essentially taking a look at the hourly time frame, let's quickly summarize this here too, because we want to look at our TPO and the wonderful Ichimoku cloud. So by the way, this X on the chart is where we wanted to be for confirming factors, letting us know it's viable to take a long position. This was based on 2 days ago. Keep that in mind from Saturday's analysis. So having said that, we want to reevaluate and double check. But at this point of reevaluation, the truth is we're over the cloud, lagging spans free and clear conversion lines over the baseline. There is zero reason to consider shorting this coin at this exact moment. Okay, things can change, of course, next 6 to 12 hours. We could see some intersection there, some retracement, but the truth is you're better off waiting for a long than you are to consider shorting to that area. Okay. Now, if you are a day trader, it's a different story altogether. Feel free to consider that. It is losing momentum, but I still don't feel comfortable with this here. I feel like we are starting to see somewhat of a flag pattern here, and this is generally a favorable sign to the upside. Okay, it's just showing that the bears are losing strength here. If we break above this descending little trend here, then there's a strong chance we'll see the price break out. If we take a look at the TPO, I'm confident we're going to see a decent amount of volume at or below the price action, which is right there at 62,800. So really, the current price is where the point of control is. So having said that, we've seen the most amount of volume at this current level. We close at 62,900 or higher, roughly 63K. I think there's a solid chance we're still going to see the price continue further up. So all in all, this is a very favorable and positive situation here for Bitcoin. It doesn't make a ton of sense too short. The only caveat we got to recognize, and this isn't necessarily, this shouldn't be a fundamental, or I mean, you could construe it as fundamental, but when it comes to CME gaps, these things are very pressing and very relevant. So to me personally, this is one more reason why we want to just kind of be mindful. My speculation is if we do see the price action pull back to that 61.5 mark, we would fill this gap effectively or very, very close to it, and then we'd be taking off from there. Again, we got a lot of control here at the 61.5 range. So my speculation is that we may not see both gaps filled, but if we do, it will probably be in the relative near future. Okay, so again, if Bitcoin continues to progress up to 66,000 or higher, different story altogether. These things won't matter as much. You got to recognize CME gaps commonly get filled. For the most part, they almost always get filled, but sometimes it'll take months or it has even taken years in the past. We have plenty of CME gaps down at 30,000 and 18,000, by the way. So it's not like it's an exact science, but it is a statistical probability. So just bear that in mind. Try not to forget that is present there. So don't blindly just jump into a trade right now and along. While we do have some confirming factors, we don't have a ton letting us know. I think it's probably best to relax and wait for this to kind of slow down, so to speak. If you insist on shorting, just make sure it's low leverage, low position size. Again, these profits that we take here, for example, 45%, that's a 10x leverage trade for Bitcoin, but we 5x leverage everything else. So Caspa, for example, 7 days, 63%. That was a 5x leverage trade, just to give you perspective. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you all learned something today. Comment below if you get a chance. Like, subscribe, follow. Join us on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much.